Good evening to everybody. Hello. I'm really glad to welcome you for today's event, which will be dedicated to such an important thing as AI, that is artificial intelligence, and how it can influence and improve your, let's say, workflow and routines as front-end developers. My name is Veronica. I'm content developer and content creator at the Beetroot Academy, and I'm here to take a few minutes from the beginning of this event, just to remind you some organizational issues, and the structure of today's event. Let's start with a quick check. Tell me, please, if you can see me, if you can hear me, if the internet connection is okay. Could you please write some pluses in the live chat? And while I'm waiting for that, let's discuss the structure of the event. So let's say it will have three main parts. The first one will be the general introduction to the topic, which will be held by our today's speaker, Alex. Just in general, some, let's say, theory. Then we shall move to more practical showcase using the AI tool known as Copilot. And at the end of the webinar, we'll have a Q&A session. That is, you'll have some time to ask questions that you may have during the webinar. I am suggesting and advising you to write down questions if you may have something right in the live chat during the event, but please remember that we'll address them at the end of the webinar, or just keep them in mind if it's easier for you, and ask them directly during the Q&A session. Okay, I see the pluses. That means that everything is clear with the sound and connection. I'm really glad for that. Well, I have nothing more to say except for mention that the recording of today's webinar, as well as the presentation Alex will use, and also some useful resources, if they will appear during your Q&A session, will be sent to you via the email you put in the registration form during registration to the event. So please don't worry, you'll have the recording to rewatch it, and also the presentation to maybe look and come back to some moments you need to revise, or just want to look at it one more time. Well, right now, actually, that's all I wanted to say, and I think it's time to give the word to Alex, who will present himself and also the main topic.
Okay, thank you. So nice to meet you all. We will start with presentation. 1 second. Okay, so a few words about me. Last 8 years, I'm developing solutions for web. So currently, I started as a front-end developer, but now I'm working as full stack developer, working with had experience with different technologies, different frameworks, including all big 3 frameworks for front-end, React, Vue.js, and Angular. And and today we want to speak about AI and how it can help us as front-end developers. We have few objectives, and I'm expecting that we will successfully finish all of them. About the webinar structure, we will have few parts. The first part will be introduction. We will talk about benefits, risks, and limitations. After that, we will move to the general overview AI instruments for web developers. And second 2 parts, they will be about the practice. So we will try to start using AI utility GitHub Copilot. As a result, we're expecting to have simple but finished application with that which we will make in React framework. General overview. What is AI? What we need to understand is that it's combination of machine learning and some data. So if we are talking about some utilities or services that you will use in future, doesn't matter which one, but all the services, they are created based on some data. If we are talking about developer tools, that probably it will be the code base, and maybe documentation and so on that was used for learning. As a result, we will have some service that will help us with our daily developer tasks. And what benefits in general we can have as developers? It's code accelerating, so we can make something faster. We can also improve code quality, because in next slides we will talk, next topics we will talk with you about different ways how we can use AI, and it will be prompting or pairing programming. So yeah, so it will improve our code quality. Teamwork. We can use AI tools for code reviews. It will help us to review the code of our teammates and so on. And also it reduces some tasks that some routine tasks that we have as developers. What risks do we have? So we need, firstly, as I said before, we need to understand that all AI tools, they are learned based on some data. And if you're talking about the big data, so we can have some stereotypes that will affect the solutions of AI. Also, black box problem, it means that we have sometimes we can get some answers from AI assistant, but it will be difficult to get from the same AI assistant the explanation why they this AI tool made some decision, and sometimes it's difficult to explain, because because it's working not like so the AI tool doesn't think as humans. They just provide some solutions based on the data that was previously was given to this AI tool. Yeah, and also other small but discussable things like job shifts and so on. Let's move to the front end, and we discuss it. What benefits do we have, and what risks do we have for developers in general? But here we need to refresh our knowledge just about the front end and what we are doing as front end developers. So it's we're using three main languages: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We're creating the templates. We're making some, we're adding some logic in the web pages. And so in general, it's everything about the browser. We have some optimization tasks, accessibility tasks, and so on. And usually we're working together with designers. Yeah, so what benefits can we get here? As I said before, the same as for all developers faster development, reduce errors, because AI tool can check our code, improve learning. It's a very important part, and we will cover it in the practice part of our webinar. And you will see how we can improve, how we can find some information. And usually, I think if you will try to use it in a regular way, it will, you will not Google, you will just use AI tool, and it will help to answer for all your questions. We can see different solutions. So usually we resolving our tasks, or any issues in the way as we're doing usually. So I'm doing it in this way, and I think that usually I will do it in the same way next time. But with AI tool, it helps us to have like another point of the view, and it helps to see the problem from the other side, and focusing on our solutions. As I said before, usually front-end developers, they're working together with designers. And here we have an example of AI tool for developer. And I just wanted to show you how it can be used, for example, for designers. So here it's a short video. It's Figma AI tool. Figma is a standard for web designs. It's a place where designers creating designs for the pages, and where we as front-end developers can get the information, sizes, colors, and so on about designs. Here you can see how Figma AI generate some blocks, and how designer can switch between different solutions. Okay, and sorry, and the next example is also combination between Figma AI and real code experience. So here you can see that we can install Figma plugin for your IDE, and we can transform the design directly from the Figma into the real code. I didn't have experience with this tool. I'm expecting that it will work not super good, but this template, this code, we can use as we can use it as template for and improve it with our own changes. Another part of AI tools that can help us as front-end developers, it's accessibility tools. We can use different services to check our issues with accessibility and so on. Here you can see examples of these tools. They can be installed as a plugin, or you can use it as separated services. Just send a link with your landing page or any other site that you want to check. Currently, AI instruments for web developers that we will use in most cases. So we can split it into the two big parts, or we can split in two parts. So it can, let's say, it can be two ways how we can use it. The first way is a paired programming with the IDE. Today we will try to use this approach, and the second one is ChatGPT style chat experience. It's about prompting and communication like in the real chat. We also you also will see the small example of this communication, of this experience today. What services do we have? I would say that if we are talking about ChatGPT style tools, then we can say that most popular it's ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot. It's a part of the Windows ecosystem. GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is focusing mostly on the code solutions or some code experience, and Bart, or now it was renamed. It's named like Gemini. It's a part of the Google ecosystem. You can use these tools and ask questions and ask to help with some developer tasks or issues, but also you can use it in general. If you're talking about specific developer products, then we can say that here we have different services, Codium, Replete, some Amazon services, and also the main focus for today is GitHub Copilot as a part of the IDE. Okay, so if you are talking about researching, you can visit this link and you will see more detailed information. But GitHub Copilot, they work in developers of this AI tool. They work in iterations, and they making some changes. After that, they have a review and making and start next iteration. Here you can see the results after one of iterations, and we can see that usually everything is super positive based on these reviews. Here is a chart with reviews, and we can see that most improvements developer see in the last time for searching. As I said before, it will if you will use GitHub Copilot, probably you will not Google at all. Maybe some specific questions, but in general, everything will be inside GitHub Copilot Chat or inside the IDE. Also, it helps enjoy coding and it helps spend less time on some routine tasks. It's a review from different developers, another chart about code review. So I just want to remind the code review, it's a process when one developer reviewing some code from another developer, and it's a usual task. It's a routine task for when you're working in some big or small teams. Yeah, so it helps to understand what's going on in the code. It helps to study. We will show how we can use it inside the GitHub Copilot. And general overview of Copilot service. Copilot using OpenAI Codex model. It's working with public code base. We need to remember that Copilot is a part of the GitHub ecosystem. GitHub ecosystem, it's a big service that help us as developers to save our open source projects and manage these projects. It's like service for Git repositories. Maybe you know about it. So it's like a super big code base with different versions of different applications on different languages, from C to, I don't know, JavaScript and so on. If you're talking about ecosystem, Copilot, it's a hub, it's a part, Copilot service, it is a part of the GitHub service, and GitHub service itself, it's a part of the Microsoft ecosystem. Today we will talk and we will see examples in the VS Code IDE, and it's also a part of the Microsoft ecosystem. That's why they have super good integration. Okay, so currently we're moving to the our practice part, and what we need to have if we want to start using this AI tool, and how it can be, what should be done before we will start. So first of all, you need to have a GitHub account. You will have your profile. It's like your CV in the software engineering world. As you can see here, you can have your own repositories. Here you can also, in the GitHub, you can find repositories for popular frameworks like Angular and so on. So you need to have an account. After that, you need to enable Copilot feature where it can be done. So if you will open your profile, if you will open settings, on the left side, we have Copilot section. Here, if you have some organizations, you need to buy Copilot for business, or your organization need to buy it. But if you want to use it for your private projects, then you can work only in this area. What do we have here? Here we have a plugins. Plugins for most popular IDs. Today we will talk about Visual Studio Code, but also it can be WebStorm from JetBrains, Visual Studio as a big project for C, C++, and other .NET and so on, C#, and for Vim, NeoVim. One more time, today we will talk about Visual Studio Code. If you will click here, you will see the description of this extension for VS Code. So firstly, you need to have GitHub account, and the second that you need to install, you need to have the VS Code IDE itself. Here it is. So also you can find Copilot here as extension, and as you can see, it's already installed. Okay, so and that's it. It's enough to start working with Copilot. Okay, so what's the plan? So as I mentioned, we also have text-based chat tools. Here I will show you Gemini AI tool, and I want to ask to create CV for it's a very popular developer, the one who created a Linux core. So here, why I'm using this tool? I just want to have some data. You can ask any AI chat to help you to create your own CV, or you can have this information. Here, for our example, we will just use CV generated by Gemini. Also, so you can see that it's information about Linus Torvald, his technical skills, professional experience, and so on. It's just text. So I'm used to this AI just for general routine task, to ask it to create the CV with some information inside. Also, if I will work here inside Gemini, I can ask Gemini to create the HTML file for me based, for example, on this information. Create an HTML based on the CV. And here I can see that we have, based on the previous information, we have some HTML code, we have some explanation. So so here is example how we can work in the chat mode, let's say. So if you want, you can copy this code, you can move to your ID, you can create some file, and you can paste this code here, and probably it will work. So we can save, and format code, save it. And here we have an HTML document with the semantic structure. We have text, we have body and head, and so on. But we will do it in another way. So here, as I said before, chat extension, GitHub Copilot extension is installed. I'm authorized. And how can I use it inside the IDE? Let's move back here. Let's copy information about Linus Torvald. Let's move to the IDE. So the main interface, you can get access to the main interface by clicking Ctrl+I. If it will be macOS, it will be Command+I. So I'm clicking Ctrl+I. 1 second. Okay, I'm clicking Ctrl+I, and I have the same prompt here, and I can ask create. Stop. Okay, it works here. It's good. Okay. Create an HTML document based on the CV. And I will just add here information about Linus Torvald and on the data. It will be like this. Okay, and I have a data, and I ask it GitHub Copilot to generate the HTML file based on this information that we have. What we can see here, more or less the same as we got from Google Gemini. So we have paragraphs, we have some text, and we can see how it will look in the browser. So I will open this with Live Server, and I can see that we have this information. If I will open the developer tools, I will see the text and so on. Okay, so let's think what we can do next with it. Good. So as I mentioned before, we can open the main interface by Ctrl-I. Here we can ask any question or ask Copilot to change something. Let's select the whole document and let's just ask Copilot to add to help us with accessibility. We will just text accessibility, pressing enter. Okay. Okay. Something went wrong. Let's try from one more time. Update HTML to issues. Okay, what was added? We can see that some viewport was added here. And I think that's it, because we have a good HTML structure. We don't have any images yet. That's why we don't need any other. It will be good for different readers and so on. Okay, so we have some structure, and from this point we can ask Copilot to add some sections. We can see that we have some H tags and a list inside. Let's imagine that we want to wrap all these blocks in different section tags. We can do it. How it can be done? We just need to highlight the code that needs to be updated, press Ctrl-I, and ask Copilot to help a section for every block started from H tag. It's updating our code. And we can review the changes, and we can accept or discard changes. We will accept our changes. Let's save the code, and let's review what was changed. Nothing was changed because we just added a wrapper text. We will use it in future. So you can see how you can like in the prompting way, you can ask Copilot to change something or update something. And here, from this point, let's imagine that we want to use Bootstrap Okay, I have it. If let's imagine that we want to have to use Bootstrap framework in our project. Bootstrap, it's a framework that help us to have a good layout. It already have some components that can be reused, and usually it's using for templating or some simple designed landing pages. So here, just overview, we can have different layouts that will help us to have our page mobile friendly. We have already different components like inputs with already existing styles and so on, alerts and carousels and so on. So, okay, so what we can do, we can select the whole text and we can ask Copilot, please add Bootstrap. Waiting for results. Okay, let's accept changes. And here we can see that we have added two parts. The first one, it's about CSS, Bootstrap CSS, and JavaScript part for some dynamic tools that we can use or components that we can use on our page. Okay, so we just added the third-party library. We added Bootstrap, and now let's try to change our code, and let's try. Let's ask Copilot to update layout. When we will open the documentation and just remind that we have grid in Bootstrap, and we have containers and columns. You can see that we are using CSS styles that are provided by Bootstrap, and we can have structure like this. It will be container with columns inside. Let's ask Copilot to update our view. Control I, and here at trap with column for our section. And let's see what we will have. You can see that the code is updating. Okay, update is finished. We will accept our changes. We will save these changes. And what we can see is that for now, we have div tag as a container, and we have a section as a row inside. Let's review how it looks. Okay, I'm refreshing the page, and it looks pretty. We didn't add any line of the code by ourselves. We're just using Copilot to generate everything, and it looks good. So another one thing that I want to add here, it's an avatar. Let's try to create a prompt, and let's ask Copilot add. Okay, let's ask Copilot to wrap wrap h1 tag with bootstrap container and add avatar with avatar from here we have Linux PNG file. Linux PNG. Okay, let's wait for finishing. And here we can see the code that was updated. Let's accept these changes. We will save the file. Okay, here we have an avatar or image. And for example, we want to ask Copilot, make it round. Okay, let's check. It's used Bootstrap styles. Yeah, and it works. For example, I want content. Text center, I'm not sure it will because it's not text. Yeah, but we have centralized container. It's global. I set it to 0. I just moving the code that was added by Copilot from one container to another. And here we have a result. We have like this page can be uploaded somewhere, hosted, and you will have simple but good CV somewhere in the web. Okay, so we use it Copilot. We use it this tool in the way like we're working with this tool as with another developer. We're asking some questions, we're asking to help, and it works already in our file, in our project. It's very important because it's about context. We don't need to say, please review the whole code, please check the packages or libraries that were connected. We just asking question for this line, and we asking to update something. Here you can see example. If you had experience previously with Bootstrap, you can see that we had different ways how it can be done. I mean, this rounded image. It can be done by inline styles. It can be done by adding different classes and using this class here. But Copilot understand that we're using Bootstrap, and inside the Bootstrap library, we already have some classes, and we're reusing these classes currently in this file. We're using the same names that we have in Bootstrap framework. So it's a very powerful tool. It's more, I think it's much better than we have it here in the chat. If you want to have a chat with Copilot, you also can do it here on the left side. You can ask any question, and it will the Copilot will answer here. Okay, so here it was example how we can create a CV without any with 0 lines of the code. We just working with AI tool. What we can get from here also, few moments. The first one, it helps us to study. I can highlight the line of the code. Let's imagine that, okay, let's make it with this one line of the code. Let's imagine that I don't know what is the meta tag, what this, how we should use these attributes. So how we can get explanation. One more time, we click in Control I, and here we have like comments. We have different comments. For studying, you will use explain. I'm just selecting explain, pressing enter, and here on the left side, I will see explanation. One more time, it will work in the context of your project. Now our project is only one page, only one file, but if you have a big project, it will work in the context of the whole project. And here, it's example why you will not use Google. Because previously, usually, you just copy the tag name, you switch into the browser, put it somewhere in the Google, and after that you're getting results. Here you have everything inside the DA. And here is an example of the good explanation. Also, it's including not only the general overview of the meta tag, but attributes that are using here. And why do we need this attributes here? So one more time, we're selecting something. We call Copilot. We use explain command, and you will see the results. Another powerful tool is for documentation. So we can highlight something. Let's imagine that we need, maybe it's not so useful for HTML. It's more for like programming languages like JavaScript or any other programming language. But we can have a documentation based on the code that we already have. Let's try to see how it will be with HTML. And it's just adding comments with the description. Here we also have file path, and here we have a general description. So it's a HTML code, includes some blocks, and also we have link to Bootstrap CSS framework. One more time, it will be more helpful when you will have the programs, not like HTML like structure of your page, but maybe about some JavaScript functions and so on. It will help us there. But one more time, you can have this. You can use this command here. Okay, on this point, we will finish with HTML, and we will try to move to the React application. I'm expecting that you have a little bit experience with React application, or React framework. If no, then I just want to remind what do you need to have if you want to start working with this framework. First of all, you need to Node.js engine. You can download it and install it from the main site. They have different releases for different platforms. So if you're using Windows, you just need to download installer and click next, 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 next. So you need to have Node.js, and also it's good to have React Create App package. You need to install it. It's a part of the Node.js ecosystem. It's like a package for Node.js, but usually we're using it for create a simple boilerplate for React application. I already use it. So here you can see when I open folder with React application, you will see that we have a simple React application that you will get from React Create app. Nothing was changed yet. It's just a simple application. If you want to start application, you need to run npm start command. It will be under the hood automatically start development service, and it will be you can have access to this application from the local host. Here is a page that was created by Create React App. And let's see how Copilot can help us here with our real JavaScript application. I'm expecting that you know about React application structure, but one more time, quick overview. Everything is placed inside this component. It's named like app component. We can see that we have div, we have header with image, header with image, paragraph, and link. When I will move here, when I will open developer tools, if I will review the structure of the page, I can see that everything is present here. Just a reminder, React Dev Server automatically refresh the page. If I will remove something here, and if I will save the file, it will be automatically updated on the page. Okay, let's update our page with Copilot. So what we can do here. Let's imagine that firstly, we want to add some navigation bar, but it will be not a simple navigation bar created by us. Let's imagine that we want to use another package for React. Let's name it like react-bootstrap. So on previous example, we're using the Bootstrap framework itself. But here we're using a wrapper for Bootstrap, React wrapper. You can imagine that it's the same library, but wrapped by React components. And when you will open the page of React Bootstrap, you can see the same. You can see examples that we have the same, for example, form overview. Let's see form control, the same inputs, the same styles, but here it's a plain HTML in the Bootstrap. In the React Bootstrap, let's try to find forms here. We don't have, but we have navbar. But here you will see that we have it like not HTML, but React components. And it's a J6 code. Okay, so first of all, what we need to do? First of all, we can move to the chat, to our Copilot chat, and we can ask here how we can use React Bootstrap in our project. And you will see what we need to do. with example. Okay, so first of all, we need to install a package. So we will just copy this command. I just want to remind that we need to have installed Node.js for it. And here you can see if, you see results. And here, how we can explain what's going on. We're using npm application with install option, and we want to install react-bootstrap and also bootstrap itself. I will check if it works here, but let's check together. We can highlight this line and ask Copilot to explain this line of the code. And it's another powerful thing that you can use. So here you will see explanation of this command from the terminal. So let me try to, or you can just highlight all this code, all this the command itself and result of execution, and ask Copilot to explain, and you will see that it seems like you run the command install react-bootstrap and bootstrap in your project, and you can see that now it can be used in your application. So another one way how Copilot can be used, it's from the terminal to explain some application, some commands itself or result of this command's execution. Let's move back. And let's see what was done and what we should add also. So we installed these packages in our project. Now we need to import CSS styles, and you can see that it should be added in the src index.js. So I'm open this file, adding this line, and it's saved. And that's it. Here is example with a button. But let's move back. We don't want to have a button. What we want to do. Okay. Let's ask Copilot to add navigation bar before header. It's maybe it's not a super good semantic way to add navigation bar before header, but it's just for example. I don't want to break the structure. Okay, I will update the prompt. So I will say add navbar from React Bootstrap before header tag. Okay, super. Let's see what do we have. Yeah, we have nav, and we have navbar inside. Okay, we can save the page, and one more time we need to start our dev server. And what we can see here, so we can see that code was updated, but we have errors. For some reasons, it doesn't work. And if I will open my dev server, I will see errors here also. What we should do, and how Copilot can help us here. So first of all, when you will move your pointer here, you will see that we have quick fix section, and you can ask Copilot to fix this current problem, this one. When you will click here, it will try to solve, and it will help us, and it will add imports, because we're using here the React components that are not present in current page. So we can accept it from here, or we can highlight the whole project, open UI, and use another command, fix. We're selecting fix command and press enter. We're expecting that result should be the same. We will accept these changes. Our dev server is restarted, and we can see it should be updated a little bit, but we can see that we have a navigation bar added by Copilot here, and the code was fixed by Copilot itself with fix command. This line was added, and now we have this nav bar components here. I think we don't need. Let's try to make it looks better. Use React. Oh, no. We are trying to use container. I'm expecting that it will improve. Okay, something was changed, I believe. Let's see. No. Maybe we just need to change the prompt. Okay, one more time. Switch. Now with bootstrap container. Okay, let's accept these changes. Let's save. Okay, we can see that we have issues. So we're using fix command. It should automatically fix everything. We will save. And we can see that we have this something was updated. We have container, we have content inside, we have search. Let's remove the search form. I think we don't need it. Okay, so and let's remove unused components. So okay, so we have header, we have drop-down menu, and we have content. Good. So we covered let's review what commands do we have to cover still. So we expanded the documentation command. We we saw how explain command works. We use it fix command, and now let's try to create tests. It can be unit tests or end-to-end tests based on the content or context that we have. But in any case, let's imagine that we need to cover our functionality with some auto tests. We have app.js file. We don't have any test files here. So how it can be done? I can just highlight the code, use test command, and wait for results. Here I can see the interface that Copilot want to create app test.js file with some tests inside. Let's create this file and let's accept the changes. Here I can see that app test file was created with base test cases. Here we getting some different elements, and we checking if we have drop down, we have leave, and so on. Let's try to ask Copilot add more test cases. Okay, and we can add more test cases here. So it's another super powerful tool. We can generate test templates based on the content that we have. Let's try to improve our application. Let's imagine that we need to add login form somewhere. Let's imagine that we need to have it after this Learn React block. So what we can do? We can highlight the code. We can ask Copilot add React Bootstrap login form after a tag. And let's see what we will get. Okay. Let's try one more time. Add login form with React components inside header tag. Let's accept changes. Let's skip this error. And let's see what do we have. Okay, and we have login form with username and password. Everything was done without any line of the code. So the last one part that I want to show you is how we can add, because in previous examples, we just added some components, we added some structure in our page, how we can add some logic. It can be done in the same way. So we are highlighting the whole code. And let's imagine that we need to add event on form submit and print the form data in the console. Let's accept changes and let's see what do we have here. Should we save it? Okay, here we have a situation where the code was deleted, the previous code. So we just want to roll back. And one more time, ask Copilot to help extend existing code and add event listener for form submit event. Print data from the form in the console. Okay, let's accept changes. Let's save these changes. Let's review the application. We can see that nothing's changed. And let's open our developer tools. And let's review, do we have something here? We can see that something is was printed. Okay, we can see that it's trying to get it from the event. We can ask okay, we can see that it's trying to print something, and we can say that submit button was pressed. Yeah, so we added some logic, and to finish everything, and to make last changes, we need to work with Git repository. So as we know, usually we're using some kind of Git repositories. We have some changes in our code. We added new packages. We updated the application. We added some tests, and now everything should be committed. Everything should be added in our repository. So how it can be done? Oh, yeah, we can ask. For example, if we're talking about tests, we can ask Copilot to cover current logic in tests. We can apply changes, and here you will see that we can remove the previous version of tests. You can see that all these tests, they are generated by Copilot. Here we have a test file updated. So we want to commit everything. If you will use VS Code, source control tool, you can use Copilot integration here also. So when you want to create some commit message, usually we creating it by ourselves, but we can ask Copilot to help. If you click this button, generate commit message with Copilot, Copilot, based on your changes, will automatically generate the message. You can commit. Okay. And you can push your branch somewhere. It will be pushed in the repository. So here, finally, we have the full cycle example. What was done? We updated our React application. We added a new package, react-bootstrap. We updated the code with new form, with navigation bar. We created unit tests for it. This test can be improved by yourself. And also we created a commit and we pushed the code. Yeah, that's it for today. I hope it will be helpful for you, and please try to use it in your own projects. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such an in-depth take, both into theoretical part and also the practical. And that is the time where you can ask some questions if you have them, both regarding AI tools and just using AI in your everyday work as a front-end developer, but also if you have any questions regarding GitHub Copilot and using it, and maybe some functions, tips, tricks, cases, anything. So if you have those questions, please write them down in the live chat. I'll give you a few minutes. And one more time, for those who were asking, yes, the recording will be, and it will be sent to you after the event, to the email that you used for registration. Okay, so for now, I don't see any questions. If there are no more questions, can you also say that that's it? That you don't want to ask anything? That's also pretty fine. Well, anyway, thank you so much for attending the webinar. I hope it was insightful and helpful, both for just discovering AI tools and services you can use, and also for a more in-depth dive into Copilot and how you can use it. One more time, Alex, thank you so much for your presentation and showcasing the tool. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I hope you to see one on the other webinars as well. Have a nice evening. Again, thank you so much for your time and attention, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.